VGRT Gaming Podcast, episode 70. VGRT Gaming Podcast, episode 766, recorded on October 22nd, 2025.
Hello, and welcome to the 766th edition of the TD Gaming Podcast and 599th episode of Video Game Roundtable. This is TJ Denzer.
I'm Scott Dirk.
I am Jonah Falcon.
The VGRT Gaming Podcast focuses on game news from around the industry and a gaming flashback this week.
Yes, we have a gaming flashback this week because it's the 15th anniversary this month of this particular game. Go ahead, TJ. Tell us all about this game.
Yar. It's called Cut the Rope. Cut the Rope is a physics-based puzzle video game developed by Zepto Lab and published by Chilingo for iOS, Android, Windows Phone, web browsers, Nintendo DSi, and Nintendo 3DS. The inspiration for Cut the Rope was during the development of their debut game, Parachute Ninja. Parachute Ninja was originally going to use a rope mechanic that the ninja would use to swing. Zepto Lab became unsatisfied with the controls of the rope and swapped it with a parachute mechanic. Zepto Lab eventually fine-tuned the rope physics to use in their next project, which would become Cut the Rope. On each stage, a candy is hung by one or several ropes, which players can cut. The goal of each stage is to get the candy to a green monster named Om Nom by cutting the ropes in a particular order while utilizing the game's physics to get the candy to Om.
That name, Om Nom, is so 2010.
I love it. As the game progresses, new elements were added to the puzzles. Examples including bubbles that can float the candy off screen and spiders that can steal the candy. Such elements require the player to utilize them in such a fashion that the candy can reach Om Nom. There are several levels in the game, each divided into 25 stages. Each stage has 3 stars that can be collected by having the candy touch them. Though the stages can be completed without collecting all 3 stars, the stars are necessary for unlocking later levels. Cut the Rope was well received by critics. The aggregator website Metacritic has a score of 93 out of 100 based on 14 reviews, a rating of universal acclaim, and IGN has appraised the game for the addictive qualities of Angry Birds, great puzzles, near-perfect use of couch controls, and cute personality. At the 11th Game Developers' Choice Awards in 2010, Cut the Rope won the Best Handheld Game category, beating such prominent contenders as Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and God of War Ghost of Sparta, which debuted on PSP that year.
Wow, that is impressive, beating God of War and Metal Gear. That's crazy.
Have you ever played it?
Nope, I've never heard of it.
Really?
I've heard of it.
I never
got to sit down to it.
So this game came out a year after Angry Birds blew up everything. And then you had all these physics-based puzzles that are coming onto cell phones. And this was one of them. And one of the ones that became critically acclaimed. I remember it very well.
Based on the way it was described, it looked like it had a very Candy Crush flow to it. With the way
very cutesy. It wasn't like Candy Crush. But anytime you name a little, I don't know what he was. He was a little dinosaur, I guess. Name him Om Nom. You can guess what kind of character he was. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're celebrating their 15th anniversary. And they had several sequels. Cut the Rope 3, I think, was released a few years ago.
Nice.
So, just Google it. You might like it. I don't know if they've monetized it like they have Angry Birds, but I'm guessing
they probably have.
Yeah. There's been a lot of upset people about Angry Birds because they released the original and it's even more monetized than the sequel.
Yeah.
Anyways, so TJ, tell us about Power Blast Simulator 2.
Oh, Power Wash Simulator 2, yeah. I reviewed it this last week, and it's more Power Wash Simulator. So, like, if
here's the thing. Yeah, they didn't try to reinvent the app. They just made Power Wash Simulator with more stuff.
Yep. And I mean, it's good stuff. They did a lot of quality of life improvements on the game. You can play split screen co-op in it now on any platform, and it works well with 2 people on the same screen. You can do a co-op campaign. Now, in the first game, when you did a co-op campaign, only the person that was like running the campaign got to keep the progress. So when you were done helping out your friend, you'd have to go back and complete that same level on your own.
Yeah, and
That's
here's the
not
thing:
case anymore.
the game is
Yeah.
fun, but having 100% a level can be long and tedious sometimes, especially when you're trying to find that extra 1%, that last 1%.
Yeah.
That dirt that you keep on saying, okay, where is it? Light up for me.
There's a shortcut that'll highlight the area.
Yes,
that's
and you can't
not
see it
perfect.
anywhere. It's like I'm on the jungle gym. It says, well, it's on one of the bars, and we'll light it up for you, and I can't find the light.
Yeah, but like that's one of the things that they did. Where like now, when you do a co-op campaign, players will keep every player gets to keep the progress, which is just good.
Yeah, it
And
looks like
I will say to Scott's point that that dirt finder key, they've improved upon that, and it's like way more blatant than ever. Where like the little specks of dust that you see will show up very vibrantly.
I noticed you also have to. Sometimes you want to cake the things in soap before you wash it.
Yes.
So now the soap is separate, because in the first game the soap was in the wash. Now you can soap and then wash.
Yep. And maybe one of my favorite things for like the big structures, they added new on-site equipment, and one of them is a gondola chair that you can attach to large flat surfaces like billboards, so you can move up and down and side to side, just running the washer over it. I love that stuff. Everything that they did is like, it's more of the same, but it's like
they added,
nice. It's nice improvements over what they had.
There's one big feature though. Now sometimes a level, when you finish the outdoors, doors open and now you can do the inside.
Oh yeah, interactive places. Like when you finish a certain section of them, it'll change, and I love that stuff. There's a there was a fountain that I did like on. It's the second level in the game, and you finish up the fountain, and it just looks like a fountain, and then it like rises up from the ground, and it's a full on like weird like portable bathroom in there, and it's disgusting, but we clean it up nicely, and it ends up being cool. I love it.
There's also a little bit of storytelling going on in it as well.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
there's two modes. There's the adventure mode, and there's the free play mode. And in the adventure mode, you have your little house, and then you just go and select which places you want to go to. And while you're doing it, the new places will start opening up.
Yes, it's pretty cool. So, like, if you liked the first game, you'll like the second game. If you weren't into the first game, the second game is more of it. So, there you go.
Well, here's the best part about the game, and that is there's no timer. You can take all the time you like. Don't have to worry about it.
Oh, one of the things I liked probably the most is that when you there's equipment that you can buy in the game, and when you get to something that you want to try and you're not sure about it, you can sell the equipment that you have for the same price you bought it for and like try out the new stuff. And if you don't like it, you just sell it and go back to your other stuff. I like that. I like that there's not really a risk for trying new gear.
Right.
That is good. It's supposed to be a chill game, not a stressful one.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good. I liked it a lot.
How about you, Scott? What have you been playing?
I've been playing a game that came out recently. It's by an indie developer called Shrine's Legacy, and it's a action adventure game. You can also do co-op, and it features two characters. One is a swordsman, and the other is a female mage. And you're trying to keep this sword out of the hands of some evil forces, and you are, and you can power up the sword as you adventure. You find these jewels, and you can slot them into your weapon. So it's a fun little game.
How about the Soul Steel DLC for Minecraft?
The what?
Soul Steel.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Minecraft, Soul Steel.
I know there's
Minecraft.
a Mounts of Mayhem coming out with the Nautilus. I don't know what the Soul Steel thing is. But the Mounts of Mayhem is I forget when that's coming out, but I guess later this year. They're gonna do spears, and you get to do different materials out of them. All the way through netherite and copper and all that, and you can charge, and what's it called? Lunge. That's the other attack. And they've been listening to feedback, and so now the lunge uses up hunger instead of durability, and now yeah, you get like I said, the Nautilus, and the Nautilus can wear armor, so you can make armor out of the different materials as well. So that's fun. I'm still hoping that they'll do like a shell block of the Nautilus, because I'd like to have the Nautilus shell as an actual block. Would be nice.
Okay. As for me, I've been playing a lot of Supermarket Simulator. There's something about the gameplay loop that's just appealing. Although, I mean, my stock boy is an idiot, so I always have to hold his hand sometimes. I've gotten to the point in which I have so many customers and only 2 registers, and I also started doing produce, and now I have an extra guy who has to weigh these things for them. So I had to open up 2 self-serve things, and I don't have nearly enough money to make my supermarket bigger. So I'm saving my coins for that, and it seems like the game is saying, you wanna take out a loan from the bank, don't you? I'm saying, no. Yeah, you do. Okay, well then you can just wait for the money. It's only going to cost you $5,400 to expand your supermarket, and you're only making like a $1,500 a day with it's like, you want to, and it's, oh god. So there's that. I've been playing also Ball X Pit. I know that you were raving about it before, TJ.
What do you think?
I haven't gotten past the first skeletons thing. I mean, I got as far as that skeleton king, but I got him this close, and I got wiped just before he died, so that was disappointing. It's an interesting concept. It starts off real slow, and it isn't until you start getting late in a thing when you say, "Oh, okay, I get it." The first character you get is trash, I found, and the third character you get is trash. The second one is better because I found being able to fire your balls faster is a lot better, even if he's not as accurate as the other guys. Just him pinging is good is the strategy I'm gonna have to do. There are, like you said, there are 3 types of things. There's fission, in which you just upgrade the balls and special devices you have. There's fusion, in which you take 2 balls and you mix them up. And then there's evolution, in which is a one-time thing, in which you create a new ball from 2 balls. That's a special ball that is not a fusion. I'm still obsessed with Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, though. I've hit the wall there. Other people have not, but I have, and I'm jealous because they're able to move far. I've hit a wall. So, getting on to game news. First, we're going to talk about. There's a lot of shit coming out tomorrow. Aside from Power Simulator 2, there's a game called Bounty Star coming out, and it's going to be on Game Pass. I have not heard of it. Have you?
Bounty Star? No, I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, and apparently they announced it like 2 years ago. Check this out. It's a mech game with farming and base building.
That sounds pretty fun.
You have a mech, and you have bounties in which you kill other mechs, but you're also running a farm, and sometimes you have to use your mech to tackle animals that are threatening your farm. It's really weird, and it's by Annapurna. So you know it's going to be very story and voiceover based.
That is not a combo I ever thought would be combined. Farming and mech. That's
so
crazy.
Also, Jackbox Party Pack 11 is coming out tomorrow.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward to that. And you know what's coming out next week? A little game called Outer Worlds 2. And it just snuck up on me. I didn't realize it was coming out so soon.
Yes, Outer Worlds 2. I'm excited for that one. I've been kind of keeping my head down on it. I saw the first trailers, but I'm really excited to see that it's finally coming. I'm in the mood for that kind of game again.
I'm interested because it seems like it's solving all the problems that I had with the first one.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be. You weren't crazy about the combat first one, right?
No, and it wasn't that. I wasn't crazy about partying up and characters and all that stuff. This one seems like it's tightening up everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a System Shock / Fallout 3 kind of thing going on.
Yeah, should be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah. Also, Ninja Gaiden 4 came out, and people are raving about it.
I reviewed it.
And people are shocked that it's so hard when people in the know say, well, yeah, it's hard. I think it's because of Ninja Gaiden 3, that people are a little bit surprised. But here's the thing. Hey, look, Elder Rings and Dark Souls? Well, imagine if they didn't wind up 5 minutes before they swung at you. Instead, they just attacked you right away.
Imagine if dodging actually mattered. Like, where you need to dodge in the correct direction and at the correct time, or else you'll still get hit. People that have been relying on invincible frames in Dark Souls for years would never. But I did review that game, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I think the action is great. I think the new protagonist is really cool and has a great
gimmick. People have been warming to the new... It isn't Ryu this time.
He's in the game, but the guy is Yakumo, who is like... Ryu is the Dragon Clan ninja. Yakumo is part of a group, the Raven Clan.
Yeah, and the fans have embraced him, too, which was surprising. Usually when you have a new protagonist, fans are like, but they really like him.
He has a really kick-ass gimmick. He uses bloodbind arts to basically turn his weapons into bigger, giant, more ridiculous forms of them. So he gets a rapier that's like a stabbing sword, right? And he's fast with it, but he can turn it into a drill lance, which is just brutal.
Timing of the game is also interesting because Tomonobu Itagaki recently passed away, so a lot of the reviews were honoring him. There was a very I forgot who it was. It was a fellow Japanese developer that everybody knows, and he wrote the most touching eulogy for Itagaki, and he said, why did you have to go so soon? I knew you were going to go in a blaze, but why so soon? I didn't expect you to leave this soon.
One of the more interesting ones, and this might be the one you're talking about, was Tekken director Katsuhiro Harada.
That's who I'm talking about. Yeah, Harada wrote that thing. Why did you leave so soon?
He had a rivalry with Itagaki for a long time because Itagaki ran the Dead or Alive franchise, which was the direct competitor to Tekken. And so, for the longest time, Harada and Itagaki thought they were enemies, and Itagaki eventually reached out to him and told him, "No, I respect you. I want to be your friend. I love how you've made your series work."
Yeah, and also Itagaki had he did his own eulogy. He gave it to someone to post on his thing for after he passed away. So it has that if you're seeing this, that I'm dead. That sort of thing.
This is we can talk about
last week. He posted it on his Facebook page.
We can dig into this much more because there's a lot to unpack there. But as far as Ninja Gaiden goes, I wish one of the things he says in there is that he wishes we got to see what he was working on last, which Itagaki Games, he split off from what he was working on before. He cut ties with Tecmo on bad terms a long time ago, and then he got with another group to create Devil's Third, which is a cult hit but didn't get the sales that they wanted it to.
But the funniest thing is Harada and Itagaki's rivalry was a hoax by both of them. They were really, really close.
They were friends. Yeah, they were good friends after that connection.
I think the last thing rivals and friends.
Yeah, but Harada for a long time thought that they were just rivals and that Itagaki didn't like him very much until they had that kind of faithful reunion.
Yeah, I mean, the last message that Itagaki sent Harada was, "Let's go drinking. Let's make some noise soon."
Mm-hmm. He was kind of one of the early rock stars of game
Well,
design.
yeah. I mean, look at the way he dressed. He had the leather jacket and the sunglasses.
Always wore sunglasses all the time, and he eventually founded Itagaki Games in 2021. And I have to imagine that he was working on something these last 4 years. I hope that someday we get some sort of behind the scenes, like respectably. I hope, like if they're okay with it, I hope someday we get some behind the scenes on what he was up to, or that he left some proteges that are able to carry on his work. Because that's a damn shame if that just goes with him.
Harada and Ikagaki went to the same university.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they met. Also, Itagaki is best known for a lot of bouncing boobs. He took the jiggle physics and made it into an art form.
Yeah, let's not cross hairs here. He made Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. So like,
yeah. But not even that. I mean, and everything else he did. I mean, when they were doing the Ninja Gaiden 3 PlayStation commercial, do you remember that one? In which they were selling the fact you could use your motion control on your controller to make the woman's boobs go up and down. He had all these Japanese. Oh, and also the tits on the wall. Do you remember that?
I think
the tits on the wall commercial, in which they were just this woman's breasts on the wall for advertising Ninja Gaiden, and it's sort of like they had a candid camera seeing what people would do with these breasts.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite diatribes I heard from him was something to the effect of when they were testing Ninja Gaiden, the playtesters was saying it was way too hard, so I made it harder. And like, I just love that he just like gave no fucks. That was, I wish that people.
I mean, here's the thing. He had a special relationship with Microsoft. Do you remember all those games that he made came out first on Xbox and had exclusivity for like a year or two? Ninja Gaiden and all that stuff, and Dead or Alive was just Microsoft only.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was a time when
that was the Xbox Fighter for a long time.
I mean, because Sega and Microsoft had a close relationship, which is why all those 2K games started coming out on the original Xbox. Mm-hmm. And Jet Set Radio Future, which pissed off a lot of people because it was a big PlayStation game, but no, Jet Set Radio Future has never been in PlayStation. It's only been Xbox. And that, by the way, when Jet Set Radio Future landed, it was like a thunderstrike. So many people were excited about it. And it made me find out about it because I didn't know anything about it until it was released.
Yeah, a very cool game.
Yeah. Also, I think you'll be surprised, TJ, that hell did not freeze over today.
Oh, before we move on, Jonah, also, you should probably give Ninja Gaiden 4 a try at some point because it's made by your pals.
Game Pass,
it's made by your pals at Platinum Games.
I know, and Camille was also someone who talked about Itagaki too. But yeah, I know Ninja Gaiden 4, if I remember correctly, is a Platinum Team Ninja collaboration.
Yes, Platinum Games developed.
Yeah. By the way, hell did not freeze over today. I know you're surprised, TJ.
Why did it not freeze over?
Because Bloodlines 2 was released today.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have no idea. Is it what people were hoping for?
No. Here's the thing. It's got mixed reviews on Steam, positive reviews everywhere else, because fans of Bloodlines 1 are upset because it's nothing like Bloodlines 2. Also, from what I understand, it makes the ending to Mass Effect 3 and Deus Ex Human Revolution look like huge things. It is completely linear. All the choices you make end up meaning nothing, from what I understand. But I will say that the IGN reviewer said that the last hour of the game before the shitty ending got him really pumped and was exciting as a fan of Bloodlines. So we'll see. But I have it on my Epic Games account. I also am getting the Xbox version sent to me. So I'm going to wait for the Xbox version to play it. So at least I can get some achievements out of it. I'm a huge Bloodlines fan. Although I will say that by default I play Bloodlines in God mode because the combat is shitty in the first game. In the
Mhm.
second game, from what I understand, it's a lot like Dishonored in that it's really smooth. And here's the thing: it's developed by the Chinese room, so being linear isn't exactly something that's surprising to me. Actually, I'm planning on buying Dear Esther because I've never played it. Have you?
I haven't.
They say it's a walking simulator, but I saw an analysis of what the game was about in relation to Still Lies the Deep. Have you played that yet?
Still Lies the Deep? No, I haven't.
Oh God, you should. It's an amazing experience.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of theories going on about that game. I'm not going to say what they are, but the ending will be a gut punch for Still Lies the Deep. And it's really, really well acted too, because you can. I said this a few months ago. You can have the subtitles either be in regular English or in what they're actually saying in Scottish idiom, because their accents are so thick and the vernacular they use is so Scottish that you might not be able to understand what they're saying if you don't have that subtitles down there. But yeah, I strongly suggest still watch the Deep. I haven't played the DLC. I don't know if I want to, because Still Lies the Deep is such an experience that is sort of like exhausting. It's an exhausting game.
Hmm.
So, anyways, we have a few minor news items. The first one is actually something that was announced like 2 hours ago, and that is EA and the NFL extend the Madden license till 2030,
Boo.
which made a lot of people upset. But there's some interesting things going on there too. They have not re-signed a deal with the NFLPA, which they don't have to until February 2027. But it might be a power play by the NFLPA, because you know what you don't have if the NFLPA doesn't sign up? You don't have the Madden Ultimate teams. You can't have them without the NFLPA. It'll be Green Bay quarterback number 10 instead of Jordan Love.
And that would suck. Like, people want those. That does make a huge difference. I will say that. Like,
I will say this: I would love it if there was no Madden Ultimate Team.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would, but also like, there's plenty of data to the contrary saying that the people spend millions of dollars on that shit. So what do I know?
Okay, well, here's the other thing though. Here's the thing. Madden sales have been dropping each year from 2020 to 2021 to 2022 to 2023 to 2024. It's interesting that the NFL would sign when people are losing interest in Madden and they're not buying Madden. They may be making a lot of money from Madden, but that money's going down and down and down and down and down.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, like, to a certain extent, I've heard.
Here, let me give you an example. For Madden NFL 25, in that Madden NFL 24, PlayStation users played at least 25 hours of the game, while Xbox users spent out average 13 hours. For 25, it dropped to 19.9 in 10 hours. So I'm hoping that trend continues. You know? Because the only thing that's going to teach them is money. You know? When they lose money, that's when they pay attention.
Yeah. And I mean, like, to a certain extent, the NFL wants this to stay exclusive because then they can continue if they only have to pay one group for their licensing, then
no, I mean, not when it's. Here's the thing. The MLB didn't think so. They forced Sony to go multi-platform.
Yeah, but they're different organizations.
I'm just saying that when less and less people purchase your product, the NFL will view it as damaging the brand. And all the negative, let me put it this way. Nintendo's getting a lot of heat right now for Donkey Kong and Pokemon right now because those two games. Oh, and Mario Kart. They are getting shit on big time for those games. As a matter of fact, people are not buying the new Mario Kart. Instead, they're going to Mario Kart 8. And they're actually buying Mario Kart 8 instead of the new one. And let's not even begin with Pokemon ZA. Because it is not selling at all. At all. No one is buying it. The only people who purchase it are people who purchased bundles with the Switch 2. And now I am seeing a lot of people who are shitting on the Switch 2. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are upset with the game keys and with
It's not only that, it's also the fact they have no games on the Switch 2. And the first party games that are coming out on the Switch 2 are shitty. And the people are saying, why are we paying $150 more for this thing? And I see a lot of people saying, hold on to your Switch 1s. Which is not something you want to hear. But we've seen this before, haven't we? Remember the Wii U?
Yes.
Yeah,
but I think that,
that.
at the very least, I don't think the Switch 2 will ever get to Wii U level just because the Switch 2 is still in all forms conceptually the same as the Switch.
Yeah, well, how's that different from the Wii and the Wii U?
The value of it is that you can pick it up out of the cradle and take it with you wherever you
But
like
the thing is
going.
that people are saying there isn't much of a value add, especially for $150. The graphics aren't that much better. The games have been shitty on first person, and who cares about, say, Star Wars Outlaw?
The games haven't been shitty on first person, though.
I think they're also.
Yes, they have.
I think people are also upset about the litigiousness of Nintendo with that whole patent with the capturing enemies.
Oh, you mean Palworld? And
Yeah.
by the way, there's some interesting news coming out from those guys. Pocketpair says that its new publishing division, and they have a publishing division now, which means I don't think they're really scared about Nintendo trying to sue them. They said they're not going to use generative AI. They won't handle games. They don't believe in it. And I wonder if they're making fun of Pokemon ZA, which has been accused of AI slop. Have you seen some of the videos that they've shown from that game?
Not yet, no.
It would be bad for a Wii game. You have there's no voice acting yet. Everybody's moving their mouths. They have people teleporting. There's AI mistakes in the graphics, and the writing is really weird. I'm trying to remember the. There's a random guy who speaks, and he says, "I'm gonna die if I don't get to smell a Pokemon. Oh, I'm sick and tired of this life if I don't get to smell a Pokemon." What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
That is weird.
I mean, Pokemon's kind of weird as it is, but yeah.
Listen to the one trainer says he wonders if the water type attacks comes from sweat or other bodily fluids. Gross. Another trainer says, I can feel my Pokemon jostling in their balls when it's time to battle.
Yeah. That's that feels like something somebody should have taken a second pass on translation.
Also, the textures look like AI upgraded slop, and they still look bad. They look like they're 480p when you're trying to do something in 4K. I'm sending you the link right now of this guy. It's really bad. You don't have to go far on YouTube to find all these videos about how they keep on coming up with stuff and posting stuff on social media and YouTube. This game is clearly not finished, and people who developed the game clearly did not care. This is one of the most
like Mega Man. I just feel like they get to a point where they're just running out of ideas.
Oh, this makes Mighty Number 9 look like Deus Ex in comparison.
Yeah.
this game, you do any sort of search on Pokemon ZA and just put in bugs or AI slop, and you're going to have hundreds of replies. And this is in the background of, and oh, by the way, here's the funny thing. The live action combat that they're doing in Pokemon ZA, people are saying they're ripping off Palworld.
That's hilarious.
Weird, considering it's mostly just an extension of what was already in Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Oh, that's right. Other guys.
No, they're ripping off stuff from Pokemon ZA. Not just the way the combat is done, and also they hate the combat because now it's just like run around and it's now just a battle of attrition. There's no strategy at all.
No, you still have to play to weaknesses and strengths.
Yeah, and the Pokemon ignore your Pokemon and attack you.
Well, that was part of the first one too. You would go out into the wilds and creatures would go directly at you.
No. In this case, it's sort of like 3 hits and you're out. The game is over.
I don't know. I've heard good things about it as well. Like
I've heard nothing but terrible things.
But
here's the thing. Pokemon ZA is selling like shit right now. I was looking at this so the reputation is pretty bad. Also, when they move, it's sort of like they do these 90-degree angles. It's so weird. Anyways, but getting back to Madden. Hey, you know what? I'm sort of glad this happens because it's just going to get worse and worse and worse until no one's buying it. I don't think they can get away with it for a while, but after 20 years, people are not having any more of it. Because the last thing you want is for people to say, "Why am I buying this?"
Yeah. That $500 cost price point isn't looking so bad now that like every other console is going up in price, even though they're like 7 years in.
Yeah, that's mostly tariffs. I mean, you have all these companies firing people. I'm not thinking about Amazon. They're making the Tesla mistake. But I'm thinking about all these developers are laying off people because everybody's laying off people. It's called the Trump slump, folks. And we're in the middle of it. And at some point, I hope it gets better. Because NVIDIA is doing some shady things with their AI. In that they're doing a Ponzi scheme. I don't know if you've seen this. There's accusations that they're using front companies to make it look like it's doing better than it is. Just Google it; you'll find out about it. And oh, by the way, NVIDIA did have
Kai Lopez. Is that the guy?
No, Huang had a conference today, and he was critical of NVIDIA. Oh. By the way, I know TJ probably knows something about this. That Tesla has a group called Take Back Tesla, #TakeBackTesla, in which they're trying to get people not to give Elon Musk a $1 trillion buyout or whatever.
Yes, they're one of the things that's on Tesla's upcoming annual shareholders meeting is to vote to give him a pay package valued at $975 billion. And it's not because of the money, it's because it's all in shares and it would give him more.
I was about to say that may sound like a lot, but it may as well be monopoly money.
Yes, the big thing is that it's going to be in shares, which would give him more voting control in the company, which would pretty much allow him to run it as if it was a private company.
I don't care, just run it into the ground.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that don't want him to run into the ground, and
I know that's the other part.
That's why Take Back Tesla exists, which is
we apparently don't remove incompetent people from positions of power. We just don't do that, apparently.
Well, I mean, Jeff Bezos is firing 600,000 people because he wants to replace them with robots, so we can learn the same mistake that Elon Musk did when he did the same thing with Tesla. Here's a little news flash. They've tried it before, and most car companies know it doesn't work because machines aren't accurate. And even in car manufacturing plants where you do have robots, you always have human supervisors to make sure they don't fuck up. So be careful when you're ordering things from Amazon because they may get sent to somewhere else. Because robots don't know how to. If robots unsupervised always fuck up. Same thing with AI. Scott thinks what's it called? There's no bubble bursting in AI, but every single company is
It's
now
more that it's not bursting fast
it's
enough
bursting.
because they're still pushing it like it's this big thing.
They can push it only like Konami can push NFTs too.
Yeah,
Who
but
cares?
Like,
Here's the thing: McDonald's tried to use AI, and now they're forced to rehire. Here's the thing about AI: it doesn't work.
Sure, but like
because it's a large language model. It's not even AI. It's not intelligent. It doesn't think.
The bubble is not bursting. It's just not profitable. Nobody's
no.
The only ones who figured out how to make money off of it are Nvidia, who are basically selling the pickaxes.
And the problem is Nvidia is hiding their losses too. They're making a bubble unto themselves.
They're going to be fine.
The government, no, they're not going to be fine. The government has been looking into all these shell companies and this circular loans, which is, by the way, illegal.
Well, I don't even trust the government to be.
But here's the thing: is that basically what happens is that you plug in AI, and even if you do a task that ChatGPT do, like just sort out everything with an E and that begins with E, it'll still fuck up. Because these large language models, they randomize. They use random responses, literally.
Yes. But here's why Nvidia is going to be fine.
They're not going.
They're not the ones that are trying to make AI models. They're the ones that are selling the hardware that the AI models are being made on. They're making money hand over fist because they're selling the equipment. No. You have to hear me out on this.
Okay.
They're selling the equipment to the people that are trying to make AI into a thing and making that bubble. But like Nvidia itself and AMD, they're in a position where they can just infinitely print money because they're selling these pickaxes to these idiots that are just mining fool's gold.
They're doing a Ponzi scheme. They're going to get caught. They're literally doing a Ponzi scheme.
And you trust the current administration is going to do anything about it?
No, they're working with them at this point because they're
here's the thing: it doesn't matter what they do, because you know what happens to Ponzi schemes. What happened with Let me ask you a question. What happened with the housing bubble? They couldn't keep that going on forever.
But that was under a more authoritative government that actually cared. Our current government is a fucking shit show.
But I'm just saying. Okay, let me put it another way. You know the South Sea bubble, in which the king was the manager of was the figurehead thing and invested in the in that South Sea company. When something is based on nothing, eventually that nothing's going to happen. Look at Enron, and Enron had very close ties with W and HW.
Here's something to consider. The U.S. government recently invested millions of dollars into Intel, and then Intel immediately afterwards partnered up with NVIDIA on AI chip making and stuff.
Like I said, it's the Ponzi scheme is going to burst.
Do you really think the White House that partnered up with Intel that then
it doesn't matter what the White House thinks. It doesn't matter because what's going to happen is that we're going to have such a serious bubble burst. It's going to make the Great Depression look like good, happy times.
Yeah, and I mean,
what's really the danger here is that it is going to demolish the U.S. dollar, which is what China and Russia want.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to get off this because this is getting less and less about video games. So we're going to talk about Ubisoft being creeps again. Ubisoft has come up with a new way to avoid saying the word layoffs. Listen to this line, with a volunteer career transition program that offers an offer that some employees won't be able to refuse.
I can't believe how positively they try to frame that. That's just so obnoxious.
Downsizing, readjusting the personnel. I'm thinking of all the positive words. I just say fire. You're fired.
I know.
Layoffs. It's like someone who's dead is inconveniently not alive.
Unalived, right?
Yeah.
They're living impaired.
Former Battlefield 6 campaign boss calls out EA for leaving him and other developers out of the credits after closing his studio in 2024. Marcus Leto founded Ridgeline Games in 2021 to develop the narrative campaign for the next Battlefield, but his studio was shuttered before the game arrived, and now they're not getting credit. And that's shitty for several reasons. One, they're not going to get paid for it. Two, they want to be able to put it on their resume.
Yeah, of course. That's your work. You should be able to put it on your resume, and not being credited for it. I don't know why they didn't do that, but that is weird. If they worked on it, they worked on it.
By the way, Battlefield 6 has had a very positive launch, which surprised me.
I even played it a little bit. I like it. It's got a good feel to it.
So Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is going to have some competition.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, that's coming out in like 2 weeks. Yeah. So here's the thing, everybody, folks. We're coming to autumn, and guess what? That's when all the video games start heating up. We're past this summer swoon. A Battlefield 6 player has already managed to hit 1 million score with just 8 kills and 5,000 revives, giving him essentially a 6,000th kill to death ratio.
That's pretty incredible.
That's probably the way I would play, actually, to tell you the truth.
medic, running those sprinting up and down the field with those paddles.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of opportunities to revive people. I don't like it when people revive me in the middle of a tank shooting machine gun fire at me, though. Because that's the quickest, just like, you're up, you're dead.
Yeah, but that's it. You're up, you're dead. Oh, let me revive you again. Oh, you're dead. Oh, let me revive you again. Oh, you're dead. I haven't played 2 Point Museum. I know it's really, really good, but I'm waiting for the Windows PC version. Have you played 2 Point Museum?
Yes, I love 2 Point Museum. It's the best of those games so far.
Well, it's getting a Vampire Survivor content. Free.
Which is good because that game already has a horror-themed biome, and it'll fit right in there.
So anyways, we're going to move on to game news. Take it away, TJ. Because I know this is something that you're interested in as well. Because I know you like the first game.
The Sinking City 2 is delayed to 2026. Oh, that's a shame. From PC Gamer. Frogwares announced The Sinking City 2 in 2024 with a bizarre teaser billing an overt shift to survival horror and a 2025 release target. Today, however, the studio said it needs more time and has thus pushed the game back into 2026. The reason for the delay is twofold. First and foremost, Frogwares is a Ukrainian studio, and Ukraine is still fighting off the Russian invasion that began in 2014 and exploded into a full-scale war in 2022.
But I will say this, the Ukrainians are pushing back. As a matter of fact, there's now talk about retaking Crimea.
Nuts. On top of that, The Sinking City 2 is Frogwares' first real survival horror game, and, well, it's harder than it looks. Lead designer Alexander Gresko said the new genre calls for a completely different kind of design thinking than the studio's prior investigative adventures, including several Sherlock Holmes games and the original Sinking City.
Yeah, that was one of the problems with the Sinking City, was that it was still sort of a Sherlock Holmes game and using the same bubbles, when it really needed to have the Lovecraftian horror, because when you're investigating, it's sort of like all the Lovecraftian horror becomes mundane. It's like, oh, hi, there's a fish person over there. Just wave hello.
Yeah,
it's kind of a creep.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it had a very
nonchalant.
I guess what's the Bethesda engine for like Fallout and Skyrim?
Oh, Gamebryo. It
had a Gamebryo vibe to it, like to a point where, like, yes, you have eldritch creatures coming at you, but they're just not that scary. They're kind of static.
But hey, look, if Frogwares, they're trying to do their own Silent Hill, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what the Sinking City needs. If it's going to be a game about Cthulhu, a possible Cthulhu sighting, then you got to have Cthulhu vibes. That's just the way it is. And they know how to create a mood because like Sherlock Holmes Year One, the prequel one that they did last.
I'm about to bring up. They know how to do Lovecraftian horror. You know about Watson, right?
Yes, Creepy Watson is great.
Creepy Watson.
Creepy Watson is so great that they turned it into an actual mechanic in Sherlock Holmes Year One.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. I like that they have an understanding of what they're good at, and how to lean into it.
Oh God,
I hope
imagine
that
if
it
they have
works out
Creepy
for them.
Watson in the Sinking City too. No, not a character like Creepy Watson. No, I mean actual Creepy Watson.
Actual creepy Watson, just showing up, no explanation, nothing in the game that like describes why he's there or what he's doing. He's
So
just
why
there.
he keeps on teleporting every time you look away.
Mm-hmm. Closer and closer. The existential dread that is Creepy Watson is perfect for a Cthulhu game.
Yeah. I remember playing the first Cthulhu game that I ever played on a console, and that was the Xbox game. It was called Cthulhu, something of the deep, something like that. And the very first thing you do in that game is you're chased by old ones through an apartment building. It's just one big chase scene. I don't remember the name of it, but it was for the Xbox. It was in 2003. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the next item. Go ahead, Scott.
Okay. No Man's Sky gets space wreck salvaging and expanded shipbuilding. This is from Eurogamer. It's been a big old year for No Man's Sky, but developer Hello Games isn't done yet. Today brings space wreck salvaging and more to the exploratory space sim as part of its Breach update. Breach builds upon the spacewalking feature introduced in August's massive Voyagers update, introducing huge wrecks adrift among the stars for players to orbit in search of valuable salvage. In turn, salvage is used to unlock a huge array of new shipbuilding components, including vertical and structural elements and rare glowing Atlas-themed parts, which arrive alongside improved and expanded shipbuilding options. Breach also marks the start of a brand new limited-time expedition featuring a variety of new cosmetic rewards. This time, players are set loose in an abandoned universe full of rare purple star solar systems in search of mysterious wreck. Expect gas giants, ocean planets, and spooky, seasonally appropriate story.
Now, I really just wish they would start over with No Man's Sky 2 and just fix the broken engine that.
I thought they were going to start on that whole Earth World project thing.
I don't know if that's ever going to happen because there's been so many Earth World projects by all these people. It's like none of it's coming out. The closest anybody came out for it was Flight Simulator 2024, and you know, it's a big ask.
Yeah, certainly. I just thought they were done with No Man's Sky, but I guess not. So
No, they're not. It's like Eric Barone with Stardew Valley. They just don't want to stop.
That's true. I heard,
like I said, though,
closer, but yeah, you got a Halloween theme going on in No Man's Sky. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, still looking for Haunted Chocolatier.
I hope that comes out, Haunted Chocolatier. I mean,
well, at least he says he's working on it more, and he's gotten enough of a build that he's impressing the hell out of people. So, look for our show notes at gamingpodcast.net, along with industry news and our gaming history articles. We enjoy feedback, so leave us comments on our blog at gamingpodcast.net. Also, hit us up at facebook.com/gamingpodcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us some iTunes comments. You can find me on Blue Sky at Jonah Falcon.
You can find me at Johnny Chugs.
You can find me at Shard the Sage.
And we will see you next week. And I will have my own impressions of Power Simulator and the Outer Worlds and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. So there's a lot of games coming out this week, which I'm going to have to tackle.
Yeah, I see Simon the Sorcerer is coming out next week, and then I think a little bit after that is the Dragon Warrior Remake 1 and 2. I'll be getting that game for sure.
You're about to say something, TJ?
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, we will see you next week.
Happy gaming, everyone.
Have fun, be cool, play games, y'all.
And the stream is ended. Bye-bye.